Hang on, Mitch. I don't want to steal Maddie's thunder here, but it's
What
Catherine
one?
Powers' last episode.
Oh, you're getting in early. Okay,
So we got this intro instead.
Oh, so you're stealing my bit as well. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, now let's hear it. Better be good. All right.
Catherine Powers, she's the one for you.
That's it.
Austin
Now we can
Powers
dance.
audio.
Yeah, baby.
You determined
Very good.
You were determined to fit Austin Powers in here somewhere, weren't you?
Is that it?
Yeah,
That's
we can
the-
just dance.
This is the tribute to Captain Powers.
Oh no, don't worry. Proper
Bossa
one later.
Nova.
I've got a proper one later.
Shat on a turtle.
I'm a
Is-
lemur.
Is episode 70 of Get Into Geek. We are talking Crossroads, Season 4, Episode 4. My name is Mitch. Joining me, the full Get Into Geek team, Matty,
Yow.
Brendan,
Good, baby. Very good.
that's very good, and Rhys.
Yeah, g'day guys.
Oh, I thought you were going to be doing laser
No.
something.
No.
Come
Now,
on,
look-
get into it.
I want no part of this.
You don't like Austin Powers.
I just thought it was
You don't like
interesting
he doesn't like
that,
Catherine Powers.
Rhys, Brendan did an accent and got some praise for it. So it's good to know that some accents get praise in this.
Yeah,
film.
and, yeah,
I
the
would
good
say
ones.
It's rather good.
It's an impersonation, not an accent, but
I gave you praise for Mrs. Doubtfire. It's not my fault that you weren't trying to do Mrs. Doubtfire.
we are here to talk Crossroads, Episode 4 of Season 4 before
that
we
music
get right
still
into it.
playing?
Yeah, let's
Absolutely. Keep it going.
It's a 20-minute video.
Brendan and I just used to hang out listening just to this. It was like a 27-minute just sort of instrumental.
Because you used to just dance in the street, didn't you? Just
We actually did, and we filmed it.
Yeah.
You're a lemma.
And we
You're
wore,
a lemma.
we
I
wore
was looking
underwear.
up Austin Powers flash dances on YouTube last night.
oh Jesus.
That was good.
Again?
Yeah.
Would you like to watch this again?
It's a wicked-
Recommended videos.
It's got 4,000 views just from Brendan.
All right, back as we do each and every week to the DVD synopsis to see what this episode has for us. When a beautiful high priestess from the planet Teal'c claims to have a plan that would seriously cripple the Goa'uld, everyone is understandably skeptical. SG-1 must join forces with the Tok'ra in order to put her plan into effect, but a deadly hidden secret could jeopardize the entire operation. Written by Catherine Powers, directed by Peter DeLuise. Rhys, you are our new Stargate viewer. You're watching this for the first time. Crossroads, discuss.
I hate the Tok'ra. They're just pissing me off, man, with their secrecy and their bullshit. And oh yeah, no, we'll be friends with you, but we ain't gonna tell you shit.
Nah.
Like even when we went to planets that had less technology than we did, we didn't treat them like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's just like patronizing and just makes me hate them.
Yeah, well, it's like they still have like the arrogance and the I'm better than you of a normal Goa'uld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be. So it's like
They
no
just
matter how
don't
much
wanna
they
kill
try
people.
and differentiate themselves from the Goa'uld, genetically they're still
Dicks.
pretty
Yeah.
sick.
And I think that's the saving grace because when you look at, say, the Tolan, we've only had a couple of dealings on screen with the Tolan. So the fact that they still treat us like shit and as primitives is a bit more understandable than Tok'ra, which in many episodes so far, we've actually been the ones to save the Tok'ra,
Yeah.
you know, and to warn them about things and to be the guys that come in and help them when they need. And they've come to us, I want to say, in a way, many more times than what we've went to them for help.
Yeah,
so,
I see them as an equal to the Tari.
yeah.
Whereas Tolan and that, sure, they're definitely our superior based on their technology. And
I mean,
sure, Tok'ra have got technology, but like you said, they're relying on us just
pussies.
as much.
It is a little bit. It is a little bit of a dick move on our behalf, though, because if you think about it, when we met them back in Tok'ra Part 1 and 2, the deal was it's like the one thing they need is hosts.
Yeah.
So what do we bring
Got
them?
7 billion of them.
We bring them a symbiote that needs a host, and they're like, "That's the one thing we don't have."
Bring us both, the symbiote and the host.
Yeah,
In other news, Double D's are back. So that's a good that's a good point.
At least double D's.
That's the thing, like when you were saying I hate the Tok'ra, I was like, why? Because I wasn't really listening to what
Oh.
you watched
That
this
was
episode.
saying-
You watched
Where
this
the
episode on
Tok'ra
mute,
is.
didn't you? You just
there was one point there where they're sitting at the briefing room and I swear to God, Teal'c's just staring down her top because she has that revealing dress on this episode.
Of course he was.
well, she had to compete with Shinnok's outfit. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, speaking of Teal'c, like when he walks out after having sex with Shinnok, Shoshana, how you pronounce it. And just the look on his face of absolute pride in himself, just like because he walks out of the room. Was there a like a security guard out there? So I just want to. He just walks out like,
Well, that
yeah,
was
buddy. Yeah.
that was my question. Is do you reckon they went to Pound Town?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Manizzle.
That's pretty risky. Like he would have had to hit that from behind if you think about it, because she had little Junior
I've
popping
been wanting
out
to
at
talk about this.
any particular moment.
Yeah, but
so if they're
wanting to talk about this. Okay, Jaffa sex. Just
A, she's nearly dying, yet somehow she's up for it.
yeah, of course.
B-
Have you seen Teal'c?
B, if they're oh, I don't blame her. But then like midway through the briefing, she like collapses and has Junior popping out of her chest. Imagine if they were like nose to nose when that happened, and suddenly her symbiote's halfway into his pouch.
Yeah,
Oh, that's some
Like-
kinky shit. I'll be up for that.
that's what I was wondering.
It's
Because
like
you'd
Avatar.
have to go.
They're just like connecting tails.
You'd imagine they'd have to go doggy style most of the time to avoid
I think.
cross
Surely.
pouch contamination.
Well, I mean, from what we know of Teal'c, I reckon that's the go-to position.
Oh, he's a Jaffa,
well,
so
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, like
Remember
full
in Window of
dominant.
Opportunity when he was Daniel? He had to do that.
Yeah.
Of course, you hit Daniel from behind.
No
I mean,
consequences.
honestly.
What? Sorry to spoil that for you, Rhys.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
You could imagine though if they're doing it and the two
Oh, I've
gold
imagined it. I've imagined it.
are
Yeah.
just gonna. Do they kiss?
Oh,
As
if they're
they-
doing missionary.
Well, they've got those little
Yeah, yeah.
predator faces, don't they? So maybe they kind of just lock in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And just
Maybe that enhances the pleasure.
Yeah, but then it gets a bit creepy because obviously, you know, Shinnok's gold was fully grown and
Oh,
Teal'c is only a
yeah.
baby. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst thing the gold have done, but still, it's a bit.
Yeah.
And
a
they
bit,
they
you know.
could be related too.
yeah, they're
Like,
gonna have a triad about that.
you know,
Yeah.
they're both obviously symbiotes of Apophis, so
That's true.
that could be a bit icky.
Wow, that
Yeah.
went off a weird tangent.
It did. I
Well,
I,
these are the questions the fans are asking.
I did want to bring something up though. If you guys remember, we had a bit of a philosophical disagreement about it. I think it was one of the shitty Ryok episodes where
One of them.
one of them, where Daniel and Carter are off on their own, and Daniel shoots the
Oh, yeah.
vat full of baby symbiotes.
Yeah.
Well, just have a listen to this for me.
The great Queen Egeria. She broke from the Goa'uld over 2,000 years ago. Her offspring became the Tok'ra.
Egeria, Roman goddess of fountains.
Fountains?
Thanks,
Also
Daniel.
childbirth.
How do those two go together?
It doesn't matter. She was also advisor to Numa Pompilius, a legendary ruler.
Correct, Dr. Jackson. Egeria came to the Tari to stop the Goa'uld from taking humans for the Stargate as slaves. Ra found her and killed her, but not before she spawned our movement.
Literally.
Yes.
Thanks for the image.
Ew.
Then the original number of Tok'ra is all you have.
Very few Goa'uld came over to our side, but none in the past few hundred years. Our numbers have diminished as symbiotes unable to find new hosts died or fell in battle. That is why Shinnok's offer is so provocative.
Provocative.
Very few Goa'uld came over to our side.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
So not all Tok'ra are from Egeria. So some made the choice to go, nah, Ra's crossed the line.
Yeah.
Dial it back a bit, buddy.
I still think that's going to be retconned.
So who's the chick that started Tok'ra?
Egeria.
Nigeria.
So she was a Goa'uld who just obviously had enough of Ra's shit
Right.
and decided, nah, I'm going to start a rebellion and just, you know, treat our hosts a little bit nicer.
Little bit.
A little bit. Still,
Did she have a Harcesis baby?
I see where you're going here.
Yeah. Great call.
I mean, that would have been a nice way to tie in some continuity. You know, I mean, a female Goa'uld opposing Ra and then getting punished for it.
Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
kill her off.
Nah, kill her.
off, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's better.
It's fine.
But yeah, so theoretically, that little vat that Daniel
That would have
shot
been
up.
actually that would have been good, wouldn't it? In
right.
Origins, if it was Egeria.
Don't say the O word.
If they didn't,
Egeria starts with an A, doesn't it?
if they didn't wipe Catherine's mind at the end, that could have eventually been the alternate reality.
No.
You know what I'm going to say, do you?
Yeah.
What?
You texted me about it.
Could have been the alternate reality in there, but for the grace of God.
Don't know whether that would have made it worse or not for me.
Yeah. Well, could it get worse?
But yeah, so my point being is theoretically, out of that vat that Daniel shot up, there could have been a couple of potential Tok'ra in there.
Mm.
But then obviously the flip side is that they say there was 200, little primtars in there.
Yeah.
And there's only, you get 198 Gua'uld and 2 Tok'ra. It's like, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe shooting it up, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's like if they're like the Tok'ra whinging about how they had operatives on the ship that SG-1 blew up.
Mm.
Well, like, big deal. We just killed a mothership.
Yeah, and they didn't
Same
go back.
thing.
They didn't go back to save what's her name from Into the Fire.
At all.
Nah, not
She's
worth
annoying.
saving.
Leave her.
Yeah, I mean,
Blow
she's
it up.
clearly still alive. She's told us she's still alive.
Yeah.
Should we carry her out? Nah.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
So the big thing, obviously, at the end was that the volunteer for this, was not who he seemed.
Hebron.
Now, I'm prepared for this to be a no, but this guy looked very familiar. If I see, is he an actor that's carried over from another sci-fi series? Because he looked eerily to me when I first looked at him. Like, is that the same actor that was the Ashrak from episode 2 of season 2?
No.
Oh, he
but-
looks similar.
He does look similar. Yeah, I thought surely they wouldn't have a guy that ends up being like a double agent.
You may recognise him from X-Men 2. He was like Stryker's offsider
It probably is it
lieutenant
actually.
guy.
Yeah.
So it could just be something like, because he does have a very distinct face, like in terms of his facial structure and that sort of stuff's very distinct. So it might just be because we've all seen that movie 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You recognise it from that. But
Cool.
obviously, this episode is about the women. We've got Freya and Anise, we've got Shinnok, we've got Egeria, and then of course we've got Catherine.
Oh, yeah.
Our wonderful Catherine Powers. It's her last episode.
You've made something.
I may have. I just thought, it was time. We should, it's her last episode. Basically, after this, she's only credited for she gets a story credit in season 6 for an episode based on something that happened last season. So my thought is, she pitched it this season or whatever, and they went, nah, a bit too early for that. So, but afterwards they've gone, actually, let's use that idea Catherine had, but someone else wrote it. But I just thought, it was time to just, reflect and appreciate Catherine and all she's done for us and just give her the respect she deserves.
Absolutely.
That's a joke button.
Okay,
Bring it down.
Because I don't want to spoil what might be in I guess a follow-up clip now if that's a joke, but I was expecting boom, a bit of Akon.
I was expecting some more memories gear.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
So we'll play the real one, and just keep in mind everything I've done here is stuff written by Catherine Powers. Is that what you're expecting?
Oh, good song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And she also wrote this song for $3 down.
You're
Days.
strong. And you're as wise. May I not choose both?
Ooh, kinky.
What? Well, don't look at me. I don't know what to do.
I'm not the token woman.
One and only time Carter doesn't know what to do.
What is it
Oh,
not?
classic.
A vaccine.
That was a Star Trek reference.
I'll save it. I don't want to ruin the tribute.
What's a shame?
Got to do the air guitar.
Yeah. To understand the proper value of women, we understand that they are highly pleasant things, but after all, unimportant.
That's 2.
She wrote it.
Star Trek Next Generation.
This is a f***ing trap.
Things will not calm down, Daniel Jackson. They will, in fact, calm up.
Are you going to get your mic shut off by the end of this
No, come on,
tribute?
it's got to be one
Is
for
this
the whole song.
song?
She's written some good
I
lines.
understand you've come up with some new theory about Stargate.
Classic Catherine line.
Yeah. Do you dream about Catherine all the time?
She's still with me in my dreams, though. Didn't they play at Trump's inauguration?
$3 down. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Yeah.
This.
Yeah. No, not this, but
No,
the band.
one of their songs.
Bloody hell.
Hey,
Oh, another good one.
Memory.
Classic mem.
He must have been struggling for gigs, right? $3 down.
Yeah.
Call the blue glow, breathe the might, see the rainbow, test the white.
Just
Oh,
baloney.
that chick.
Well, none of this was going on when we sent the probe through.
A woman? Your chief of security?
Watch your tongue. I'll rip it out and eat it. It was my fault. If you need to beat a woman to feel like a man. Try me.
Is he a woman? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now I'm hurt.
Wow.
Farewell, Catherine.
See ya.
One for me and one for my homies.
I'll for our it's surprising. Like I did. What was the last farewell that I did? That was who was that for?
Share.
That song came to me, not a problem. Do you know how hard it was to find a song that just really sort of conveyed the emotion I felt about Catherine? So I thought for our
So you thought, Trump.
I would have thought, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach.
no.
Can I just tell you guys, when Austin Powers first came out, Brennan printed the script out and learnt it off by heart, every role, every word of the
I
friggin'
just watched.
script.
I don't think I printed the Matrix
You
script.
printed it out.
I was too busy masturbating to that hot tub scene to learn any of the words. So.
Behave,
Absolutely.
But
pardon me for being rude. It was not me. It was my food. It just popped up to say hello, and now it's gone back down below.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Kinkies.
Rhys also read the script. Is the end of the story.
Oh, I'd never read the script. I haven't even seen the movie. Heard Brendan say it, recite the whole thing.
I was about to ask you that at the top of the show because I'm like, I've grown up with Brendan since the age of 13, so we're nudging on 20 years, and I feel like I've heard a lot of those references, but you're actually his brother, so you spent a lot more time.
He went through
in
the
those
rehearsal
formative
process.
years. Rhys, I want to see if you can come back tomorrow to do this all over again.
He does an amazing Mimi Rogers.
I like how Shinnok says Teal'c challenged the gods. Every time she says that, I hear her say that. It just reminds me of how awesome Teal'c is. That he challenged the gods. That it's something that's never been done before. And I just can imagine, like in 1,000 years, he'd be like a
god.
demigod, right?
Yeah.
They would actually seem like a god. They'd probably have a statue.
Well, that'd
the
be
Book of
ironic
Teal'c.
because he'd be like, "I'm not." Like that's my whole point.
Yeah, but he'll be dead then.
David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
Teal'c versus Apophis.
Yeah, he's the first one to do it openly, but I feel like
Braytak's been doing it for years.
Braytak kind of laid the groundwork, and we do find out, I think, season 5, season 6, something like that. Braytak trained Teal'c and basically put a lot of these thoughts in his head. But, Shinnok's obviously given him a lot of credit, and I just feel like, Braytak kind of...
Well, he's the only one that defected.
He did a little legwork.
Braytak's still in with the gold, isn't he? Or did he...
Well, yeah, he's sort of working both sides, I guess.
Yeah. Is he still with
He's
them?
done-
Because I after season 1, when he was on Chlorel's Huttark, and they both blew up, was he... Because then he hid away Ryak and the wife. I guess he's still on Teal'c, but does he work for Apophis still? He's not with Apophis.
No, well, Apophis went there to kill them all, didn't he?
I guess he was retired originally, wasn't he? So he's in Florida,
Yeah.
kicking up the heels.
Chilling out in the body.
It's just still walking around in his armor, like
Yeah.
I don't own any other clothes.
Just a skull.
That
just
is
a
my
s-
beach chair.
Just a skull cap and Havianas. That's it.
And a loincloth. So apparently, you can talk to a symbiote if you're a Jaffa.
Apparently.
And we never see it again.
Oh, it's good to see Teal'c's dad die though. That was hectic, eh?
No, I think that was I like this episode, but it's a little bit slow. And I think having that and Cronus in, you're like, ooh, Cronus is pretty menacing, even though he's a bit of a pussy in the Robert C. Cooper episode. But this one, he looked good.
That's one. But yeah, look,
I just couldn't remember the name of the episode.
Thinking back to this, I don't think I'll remember it. I watched it not long ago and I barely remember it.
I think you will. Like
They touch on it again.
It's a bit like Forever in a Day. It's on its own. It's not a phenomenal episode,
Right.
but it sets up a lot, and there's a lot of repercussions to this.
I'm with you though, Rhys, because Crossroads. Every time I see Crossroads, I'm like, which one is that?
Well, especially at
really?
the moment,
Yeah,
because what's the Tok'ra chick's name that doesn't wear much?
Anise.
Like, she was in last week, she's in this week, and from at least what the DVD, the picture of the thumbnail suggests that she's in next week's episode as well. Like,
Yeah.
you want to start thinking that she's like a new supporting role within the team. Like, to get out of the first 5 episodes of a new season, she's in 3 of them.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised how quickly she came to be like in that main cast.
Yeah, it does.
And then she kind of goes away.
Well,
Yeah,
like
we
Maddie
spoke
said,
about it the
wasn't
other
she? She came in to be the like.
She was the sex appeal.
The
She was
yeah.
there to get the hard-ons, and then they realised they didn't need it.
Oh, she got 'em.
What was the story you were telling me off mic while we were waiting for the other boys to arrive?
Oh yeah, at the start of this episode,
I was whacking it.
I was trying to, but the credits were rolling, and every time they put Anise on the screen, I'd try and look at her boobs, but the credits would come up. I'd be like, "Oh, get the credits off." The credits would come down. They'd flash back to Jackson. I'd be like, "Put her back on the screen." They'd put her back on the screen. Credits would come up in front of her boobs. I'm like, I'm trying to whack it here. And it got so annoying to the point that I had to rewind it because I had no idea what they were talking about. And so I had to rewind it because I was like, all right, just it's out of my system now. I can't see her boobs. I accept it. I'll listen to what she has to say then.
Wow.
Hey, we're all thinking
I'm
it.
sure that's exactly what Catherine thought of when she was writing the episode. She's like,
oh, hey, that's why they brought
Boobs
it
out.
That's
This
why they
is
brought
whacking
it.
it in
That's,
italics.
that's why they brought Anise in. All right, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
I salute you.
Well, I did want to talk about the other guest star of the episode. Another what I think is, I would say, more attractive in Shinnok instead of Evander.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't disagree.
I don't know.
I just, for me, the Jaffa, I just find the Jaffa storyline really boring.
Yeah, I'm just talking
just-
about she's an attractive woman.
She is, of course.
Yeah, but to talk about her properly, I'm gonna
God.
have to.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to invoke the.
The box of shame.
Still haven't found the intro that I made there, Mitch.
I haven't been at work for 3 weeks to get someone else to make it up, so no.
All right, so I'm opening up the box of shame.
Oh, here we go. What's it going to
All
be? I hope
Okay.
it's Brendan's one.
I have
Me too.
Ooh. Oh, wow, that's long.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
she
mine.
said here.
Go, just read.
Oh,
just read.
and it's from one of her Patreon. It's from Bobby Reedy. Oh, I've always said,
Bobby Reedy.
Bobby, it's longer than I thought it was. Congratulations. All right. Wow. Okay. I'll have to fly through this. This is literally a lot. Okay. Here we go. Bobby, this is a mouthful. Guys, I know.
Told you he loves you, Bobby.
Guys, I know I've been pretty hard on Origin since it came out, but the truth is that deep down inside, it's. Oh, I forgot. I'm saying this, not he's saying it.
Yeah.
Guys, I know I've been pretty hard on Origin since it came out, but
Right.
the truth is that deep down inside, it's.
Come on,
Just
get
be
through
honest,
it.
Maddie. Be
Get
honest,
through it.
Maddie. Say what you're thinking. Go on.
Tell us, mate.
It's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, we knew it was.
More than, you love it more than Star Trek.
It
Proceed.
doesn't say that here. It doesn't say it here, but
Proceed. This is you talking.
to show you guys how much it means to me, I've put together this little poem.
Oh, wow.
It's a good idea.
It's romantic.
So here we go. Do you want to do it in an Irish accent? No, it's good.
No, it's you.
It's you
It's
saying
you
it.
saying
Yeah, why would you do that?
Origins is my love and is so dear to me. From awesome effects to plots so complex, it was all I hoped it would be.
He's grinding his teeth.
Don't be embarrassed to tell us, mate. It's a safe place.
Oh, how it changed my life! How much is so tough to say. So hold on to your dicks while I lay wisdom bricks. I shall show you, my friends, the true way.
Come on.
Beale was such a lovable guy, and was if always up for debate. From Wilhelm's manual dial and a well-timed Zig Heil, this bad guy was so fun to hate. Still 2 more verses, guys, so, you know. Catherine always made the right choices. She was so smart to figure out the gate. Though in the tent in pitch black, there was questionable bareback. I hear Abydos STIs aren't so great. I'm hilarious. And finally, my favorite was the writing. At the end, I was an emotional wreck. The mind wipe so clever. I'll love Origins forever.
Wow.
This was totally worth it just to talk about Star Trek.
Wow.
Maddie, didn't know you.
Good on you,
felt
mate.
that
Bobby.
way.
Well done.
Yeah, well
Bobby.
done.
Great effort.
Like we said, it's a safe place. And
know
I'm
what?
glad you finally got to be honest because,
Wow.
you know,
All
you
these-
felt like you had to be with the crowd a few weeks ago when we did our Origins debrief.
Well, you're so complex. I mean, you just got that hard shell of an outer, and then when you open up, you just tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good to
I'm,
hear.
I'm happy to open up. Look, you know what? I can't beat that. Nothing I'm going to talk about Star Trek is even going to beat that. So I'm just going to move on.
Oh, thank God.
Look, honestly, I can't.
Extra points for
I can't do anything.
Bobby's cracked the code.
I do want to say though.
No, move on.
it's not-
That's two.
It's not Star Trek related at all. It's just that Musetta Vanda was actually up for the role of Anise. Like when they were casting the Anise role,
That would
she was actually up for it, but then they decided to go with
I was up
Who?
for that.
weird with science instead.
Sharnock.
Oh, right.
Teal'c's girlfriend.
Teal'c's missus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was
right.
almost Shinnok.
What happened? Boobs weren't big enough.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, could have been.
She didn't look like 7
I mean,
enough.
she's happy.
That's what it was.
She didn't fit the costume.
She's happy to get a gear off. If you want to jump onto YouTube, there's a
Oh, I do.
there's a clip of her in a pink bikini writhing around on the ground in a bathroom, like taking it off.
What's that?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure,
You do tell.
She's turning into like a mutant mosquito, so you got to look past that.
Oh, no, that's
but-
better.
That's actually my thing.
Reminds me of Bane. So, the Tok'ra knew all along that Shinnok's symbiote was a plant, basically.
Yeah, I reckon they were probably 90% of the way there. That this is a load of BS.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a host to find out. Because if it is working, awesome. But if not, they obviously had this plan within a plan to feed it all this misinformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it quite annoying how easily turned Teal'c was after he banged her, and then he did a deep state of killing a ream.
Fixed everything, mate.
Deep state of killing a ream.
like real deep.
And if
Like
you think
he went
about
stone balls deep into Kilnareem.
And if you think about it, there's a questionable lineage there too, because obviously his father was first. I don't know why I said father like that. His father was
Father.
His father was first prime of Cronus, and then
Right.
we were kind of seeing it through Cronus's bitch.
Yeah.
What happened there? But if it was Teal'c's original symbiote, you think, well, maybe yes, he got that symbiote when he was young, and then obviously they were shunned and headed off to. But his symbiote got in the episode we spoke about earlier, Bloodlines,
Apophysis.
was that new baby, which was Apophysis. So I guess the only way you could work around that is maybe Apophis stole that chick from Cronus.
Well, in saying
And
that,
she's now popping out.
maybe Apophis stole
babies.
Cronus's queen.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
You're too busy singing Austin Powers lyrics in your head, weren't you?
No. You and that, you baby.
So yeah, that could, I guess, be the workaround for the way for Teal'c to be able to see
His dad
his
dying.
father's death.
Jesus.
Heavy.
Yeah, I just thought for Teal'c to go, oh yeah, I saw an image, so she's definitely right. I was just like, dude, just have some kind of skepticism, just
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, that's proof to him. It's something that he didn't know about. And if she's saying, look, this is happening.
Yeah, but he's thinking with his dick.
Yeah, well, who
But I
doesn't?
guess if he can,
But he's already blown.
I guess his idea is
He should be in a space of clarity.
He already emptied his mailbag.
But I guess if he can sort of accomplish it in one Kelno-Reem, whereas she's obviously a priestess and she's been working on it for years, I guess that's why he's just like, oh yeah, it's totally legit. Because I did feel early on they really did to try and set up, because Musetta Vanda as an actress usually plays like a femme fatale, like she's usually the bad guy in a lot of. Maybe she was in that terrible Mortal Kombat sequel, and she was the harpy and all. Anyway,
Nope.
so they kind of set up.
Didn't see it.
They kind of set up that she couldn't be trusted, and it's like because remember at the start, she comes through on Braytak's IDC, but
Yeah.
Braytak doesn't come with her, and they kind of write that line saying, "Oh, he's got to, keep fighting the fight, whatever."
Yeah, Tony's on another show this week.
Yeah,
basically.
we couldn't afford 2 guest stars, so we could. So I feel like that was their way of like if Braytak had shown up with her, we would have trusted her instantly.
Yeah.
Whereas
Wouldn't have a
obviously
show.
they try and we need a Braytak for her to get through the the iris.
Yeah.
But then, by him not being there, there's still that: is she trustworthy?
Yeah,
is she not? And that
uncertainty.
sort of stuff. But yeah, I think Teal'c did kind of. believer of very, very. Given how skeptical he was at the start, even though that they've got quite a long history. Yeah, he did sort of come around very quickly.
Yeah.
What was a symbiote's name in the end?
Tanith.
Do they keep that? Do they Tanith?
Yeah, Tanith comes back a couple more times.
No, but the name. I was wondering if they changed the name because I was just
so
wondering.
Tanith is the symbiote and Hebron is the host.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So at that point, then, obviously they know that he's a double agent. I can only assume because why wouldn't they put the old symbiote silencer on him if they knew? Or was that Teal'c tech?
That was Teal'c tech.
Geez, they whipped that out pretty quick. The Teal'c. Surely they'd give him one. Teal'c would be like, "We're friends with the Tok'ra."
Oh, mate.
Oh, thank you.
They
Thank you,
don't-
Nareem. No,
they
thank you.
don't
Thank
share
you, Matu.
technology.
Yeah, but they
No,
want
thank
to.
you. How about Samantha?
They want to. They want to use him.
I challenge you to a duel.
How good would that be?
The winner will take Samantha out for a nice brunch.
No. Nareem's all like, oh, okay, so she's put our relationship on hold to figure out how she feels about this Tok'ra guy. The Tok'ra, they're not getting shit from us. So it's probably him.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, like Rhys was about to say, like they want that Goa'uld active so that they can do misinformation because that's what the Tok'ra do. They're all about working behind the scenes and misinformation and
that was
all
their
that sort
plan.
of stuff.
We're not going to share anything with you, SG1. Fuck you.
Yeah. Teal'c was pretty boss though. I thought of Rhys at the end when Teal'c just goes full on berserker and like takes out like 5 or 6
God, how good was that?
That was so good.
The first Tok'ra he knocks out is Peter DeLuise, the director.
Oh, really?
Like, he knocks him out and then takes down like 5 other Tok'ra, and they're all just like piling on, trying to sort of drag him down. Which I thought then was the best part right at the end, where he's actually then face to face with Tanith, and they do that really cool Silence of the Lambs reveal. Like the camera sort of comes around onto Tanith, and it's like a replica of when you first see old mate from Silence of the Lambs. No, Blank Stares. Yeah. But yeah, the fact that like Teal'c and Tanith right at the end, like because there was supposed to be another scene sort of after that where they're all sort of debriefing sort of back at the SGC, but they decided to keep the final scene as just Teal'c and Tanith just like toe to toe, and like they both know, like Tanith knows that Teal'c knows that he's a Goa'uld that killed him, like so they're playing this really intricate chess game, and basically the both of them are just saying, "I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah, so cool.
But they're both playing their roles.
You could tell, like
the jaw clenching was extreme.
Yeah.
Extreme.
If Teal'c had punched him, it would have gone straight through his throat. Like
He
grab
would
his
have punched
spine.
him in the throat and then grabbed the symbiote out of like the little hole that was in his throat where the symbiote he just punches through and rips it out.
I
Like
do want to go
Scorpion
back
off
to
Mortal
when he
Kombat.
cut loose because I know in Foothold we spoke about you don't want to let him loose in your base, but this was next level, I thought, because he's like, I don't care who's in my way, even if it's SGC people, like they're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
And he just ran. He just
You're better off just letting
like
me
it felt like it was old Batman 1960s style, just axing 2 people at once there at one point.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, I was just like, get out of his way.
Didn't get that upset when his missus was banging another dude. Like he got upset at that old Frotak, but he didn't go berserker anyway.
He didn't clench his jaw that hard.
No.
He got triples added though.
I think that was one of the questions that I had when they first introduced her as being this old flame of Teal'c's. But when he saw her, it was like, oh, she was a recent love of his or something. And I'm like, but hang on. So I'd always been under the illusion, I guess, that when you defected, you were married and Ryak was a young child, but you were still married to, what's her name? Dryak. But when and then when he goes back to Dryak, it's like they've been on the rocks for a little while. But then he sees Shalnak or whatever. What is it? Shalnak. And yeah, it's like he's just reunited with his girlfriend that he left behind like a week or 2 ago, and that, like they're in this. I was just like, where does she fit in the picture? Like,
is he not still married?
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh. Different planet.
It's the Daniel Jackson rule.
You're allowed
married, sleep with other people.
Yeah, you're allowed to root a priestess if you're married.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Two life rules.
Yeah.
He's like, if Drayak did it, I can do it. It's fine.
It's like when your missus gives you a hall pass for some celebrity that's never going to happen. Like it's impossible to root a priestess So she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, you can root any nun you want.
You could root a priest easy, but not a priestess.
Well, a priest could root you.
Yeah,
Do you know what? Side note, do you know what I found out during the week? My brother-in-law's hall pass is the chick from Meet Joe Black.
Claire Fulani. Or...
Yeah, that's his hall pass.
Really?
Yeah. I thought, really?
Mine's Brad Pitt.
Mine's Mighty Joe Young.
Right, okay. If there was ever a time for us to wrap it up, it's about now.
Good.
Before we go, though, I did want to, just because I teased at it a couple of weeks ago, and because Rhys is watching it on the streaming services and that sort of stuff, and he's not getting to listen to the audio commentaries, so I'm going to tease it a couple of weeks ago about Peter DeLuise and his amazing audio commentaries.
Now, oh, poo cramps. Oh, and she goes down.
So that's when Shinnok collapses on the ground and is convulsing and little juniors popping out of her chaps. He's like, oh, poo cramps. Oh.
Now, oh, poo cramps. Oh, and she goes down.
What a crack up.
You know, I'd like to sit in a room with that guy watching the episode.
I love it.
I was watching the intro to these episodes, and I found myself singing along with his lyrics.
Yeah,
me too. And then we go down, and we see the guy. He's got cross-eyed.
But everyone thinks it's okay.
That's me.
So when he's directing this episode, and Shinnok comes in and goes, now, so what? When I go down, what's my? He goes, your motivation is poo cramps.
That's literally what he does. He's like, I want you to have some serious poo cramps, and just collapse.
So good.
It's great. And
is that what you look like when you have poo cramps? Not like that.
This is gonna be a good
how
one.
you do it.
This is gonna be a good one for you, Rhys. I don't know if it's this season or next season, but his regular commentary partner ends up being Gary Jones, aka Walter.
Oh, nice.
So those two get so goddamn loose.
He's an improv genius, isn't he,
right?
Gary Jones?
So those two just back and forth to the point by about season 8, they're actually Brad Wright and Robert C. Cooper are like, you guys aren't allowed to do commentaries anymore.
Oh, Cooper.
You're getting too blue.
Even calling the shots in the...
Yeah.
Shut up, Cooper.
It's too
He was just there, though. He didn't say anything. He was just in the room, sitting next to Brad. Brad's like,
he's a silent cock block. Oh, I can't have any fun with this guy around.
Robert's told me what you've been saying on the commentary. I haven't had a chance to listen. But Robert said it's litigious.
I think he was just jealous because nobody likes any commentary that's got Robert C. Cooper in it.
That's true.
Robert Cooper said it was, excuse me, add the C.
Yeah.
Robert C. Cooper.
Robert C. Cooper.
What's the C stand for, Robert? Move on.
Yeah. Ask Brendan Gibson.
Yeah.
He's probably a really great guy.
Yeah, probably.
I've got nothing to back that up.
It's just so we don't get sued.
The only way it could have worked out better for Brandon is if he'd written Origins, really. That would have just been a cherry
That
on
would have
the
been
top.
so good.
He got full creative control. Robert C. Cooper is back. Stargate Origins happens.
But, I mean, yeah. He wrote Arc of Truth, so... We'll get
What's
to
Arc of Truth?
That's one of the movies. It was terrible.
Right.
Something
worse,
to look forward to.
Worse than Origins?
Well, obviously not.
Come on now. I mean,
Right.
it's...
Because Teal'c's in Arc of Truth.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Is it better or worse than Seth?
Oh. Well, it's longer than Seth.
Correct
answer.
That is episode 70, Crossroads of Stargate SG-1. We will be back next week to talk episode 5 of season 4, Divide and Conquer, and that'll be on the next Stargate SG-1.
Ooh, my tooth.
Alrighty, that is Crossroads. Episode 70, we'll be back next week, as we said, to talk Divide and Conquer. Until then, you can check out all of our old podcasts. If you just like what you just heard then, have we got a nice library in store for you. SoundCloud, iTunes, Android, wherever you find your podcast, just search Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast. Check us out on the socials. Again, Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you would like to support the show but become part of the Get Into Gate team, you can help suggest some new things we might want to do on the show. Contribute to the box of shame. If you think you can match Bobby Reedy and write a poem, that makes Origins sound amazing.
That literally makes Maddie not talk about Star Trek. Like,
Oh, yes.
magic.
Please.
Magic.
It's worth signing up just for that. So,
I'm looking forward to Tyson's one, actually.
Oh,
That
yes.
should be something pretty similar,
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully.
I'm looking forward to all of them, to be honest.
Yes.
We should do it more than once an episode.
Special thanks to our new Patreon members, David Hancock. Thanks for coming on aboard,
Cheers,
mate.
Dave-o.
Holly
Thanks
Munnery
for what?
coming on my board.
Coming on aboard.
I was hoping you would just go
and-
right straight past
I was
that.
happy to leave it, but I'm also really happy that someone else didn't.
I mean, if you're on our Patreon, you can come anywhere you want, really. Like,
Especially if you're Tyson Johnson, mate.
Yeah.
Legend.
Holly from Tassie, Holly Munnery, and Scott Shaw. Rhys, stop looking at me.
my bad.
Thank you.
So you can find us there, patreon.com/Get Into Geek.
Yeah, sign up and get some creative control over the show.
Over Maddie.
We need some.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're without a producer, if you can't tell. So if you'd like to take on the job week to week, please sign up. Thank
And,
you very much.
I wanted to put this out here to the group.
Do it.
This is a very popular segment, the Box of Shame, which I'm surprised about because it's Star Trek.
I'm not surprised.
But
it's one of my
but it's-
segments, so it's obviously
But
very
obviously
popular.
we can put shit on Maddie, which for some reason I think people should feel sorry for you because you cop so much shit.
Yeah.
But obviously they want to contribute to that, which is great.
It's just fun. We're willing to whore you out.
But because it is such a popular segment, I feel that we need to kind of get through them more so people are getting their money's worth.
Oh, so you guys want more Star Trek? Okay.
Well, I'm just
okay,
saying-
we can, no, that's change approved. Change approved.
Well, last
more
week...
Star Trek means more.
No, I feel like
Box of Shame.
I feel like more worth per Star Trek mention for the listeners is what, and I'm fully supporting Brendan's change
Because
here.
a few weeks ago you spent about 4 minutes on Star Trek, which, I mean, and you said you earned it, but I think you need to earn more of it.
This is some bullshit.
So I'm suggesting if you reach a minute, you have to read another comment from the
Let's
Box
say
of Shame.
Let's say 2 minutes. That was the original.
This is like Trump's America right here.
Hey, we'll build a wall around you,
I
mate.
just don't want to miss anyone's contributions.
Well,
That's
all
all.
we're saying is that the Box of Shame is pretty full.
Yeah. It's almost as full as our hairy mailbag. Yeah.
And we need to
People
get
are-
through them, babies.
People are that keen to humiliate me. Thanks, everybody. I feel really special.
No, I think it's the first time that people can actually get really creative in the show. So that's what I'm putting it down to.
I think it's a load of hypocrisy because I follow a lot of you people on Twitter, all you listeners out there that have jumped on board the Box of Shame, and most of you follow Star Trek actors and stuff on your Twitters. So don't lie, you love Star Trek too.
Not Damo, he hates them.
Contribute away. In the meantime, Mitch_Lewis for myself, Twitter and Instagram. Let's talk some Gate. Maddie, where you at?
At HighPitchMaddie on Twitter and Instagram.
Brendan.
I'm at the Brendan Gibson on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm at the Flying Gibson.
See you back next week. More Stargate Sundays talk. Divide and conquer. We're getting to Gate. See you then.
That's what she said.
GetIntoGeek.com.
Good, baby. Very good.